to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice and to attend the meetings of public bodies in which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Fort Lee Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published on January 10th, 2025, posted on the district website at www.flboe.com, published in the board's designated online media outlet newspapers, the Record and the Star Ledger, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Fort Lee, and mailed to all persons, if any, who have requested said notice. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and may be broadcasted on local TV and online at a future date. The Open Public Meeting Act allows for remote participation at board meetings and defines meeting as any gathering, whether corporeal or by means of communication equipment, which is attended by or open to all of the members of the public body, held with the intent on the part of the members of the body present to discuss or act as a unit upon the specific public business of that body. Roll call, please.
Ms. Byers-Kang?
Here.
Ms. Colbath?
Here.
Ms. Curry?
Here.
Mr. Knight? Ms. Kotang?
Here.
Mr. Lopez?
Here.
Ms. Morrell?
Yeah.
Mr. Rubino?
Here.
Ms. Richter?
Here.
8 present.
The board will be convening to executive session to discuss legal personnel and other confidential matters. The board will reconvene into public session at approximately 7:30 p.m. May I have a motion to go into executive session?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morrell, second Colbath, all in favor? Any opposed?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice and to attend the meetings of public bodies in which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Fort Lee Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published on February 16th, 2025, and posted on the district website at www.flboe.com, published in the board's designated online media outlet newspaper, the Record and the Star Ledger, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Fort Lee, and mailed to all persons, if any, who have requested said notice. Please be advised this meeting is being recorded and may be broadcasted on local TV and online at a future date. The Open Public Meeting Act allows for remote participation at board meetings and defines meeting as any gathering, whether corporeal or by means of communication equipment, which is attended by or open to all of the members of a public body, held with the intent on the part of the members of the body present to discuss or act as a unit upon the specific public business of that body. Roll call, please.
Ms. Byers-Kang?
Here.
Ms. Colbath?
Here.
Ms. Curry?
Here.
Mr. Knight?
Here.
Ms. Kotang?
Here.
Mr. Lopez?
Here.
Ms. Morrell?
Here.
Mr. Rubino?
Here.
Ms. Richter?
Here. The board convened executive session at 6:30 p.m. to discuss legal personnel and other confidential matters. Dr. Kravitz, will you begin by sharing the superintendent's report?
Yes, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. First, a big shout out and congratulatory remarks to this year's varsity boys baseball team for a successful Big North American League Championship, the first since 1956. As you know, we're coming to the last 40 days of the school year, so I remind everybody that there's a lot of activities out there. Tonight we have from the high school to tell us what's going on, Tavisha Jane and Sanya Mond.
Hi, my name is Son Yoon, and I'm a sophomore at Fort Lee High School.
Hi, my name is Tavisha Jane, and I'm a junior at the high school. On Saturday, May 3rd, our Fort Lee baseball team beat Bergen Field to secure their first win in the history of the Bergen Field tournament.
On May 8th, junior baseball player Chris Kim was awarded the Bergen Record Athlete of the Week presented by NorthJersey.com.
Congratulations to our boys and girls track team and our boys tennis team for capturing league championships this week. Your hard work, dedication, and teamwork have truly paid off. Well done. A special congratulations goes out to Coach Paljik and our baseball team who made history by winning their first league championship since 1956. This is a remarkable achievement and a testament for our resilience and talent of this year's team. As our spring sports come to a close, we want to recognize all our athletes and teams for our commitment and success throughout the year.
We are officially designated as a No Place for Hate school. Congrats to Ms. Ladd and the No Place for Hate Club.
Our heartfelt thank you to the future teachers of America for our incredible work in creating, collecting, and distributing thankful cards to show appreciation for our amazing educators. We also want to recognize the Student Council for our delicious contribution, homemade baked goods for the entire staff at FLBOE High School. Your efforts brought smiles all around.
Our production of Rent has been honored with 2 prestigious Metro Award nominations. Mr. Eldrick Etra has been nominated for Outstanding Achievement in Graphic Design. Ms. Alexis Ovale has been nominated for Outstanding Achievement in a Cameo, Female Identified Performance for her beautiful solo in Seasons of Love. These nominations are a tremendous recognition of passion, creativity, and dedication that went into bringing Rent to life. I cannot be more proud of this entire cast and crew for the heart and artistry they poured into every moment of this production.
On May 13, 2025, the members of POST worked with the 4th grade students at School 4. They discussed the benefits and consequences of social media to students.
Last but not least, on May 20th, approximately 50 students will attend a teen awareness presentation at Bar Company 3. This presentation will be done by the Fort Lee Police. Thank you.
Thank you.
I remind everyone that a survey will be going out today. And make sure you include your information about your thoughts about our district. It's an opportunity to share where the district should go in the future. So please make sure you get this as part of our strategic planning. So please, if you can, fill out the survey, tell everyone, fill out the survey, get some information. It's really important for us. Thank you.
We have committee reports.
I have a committee report. Excuse me. Hi, good evening. So the building and grounds, hello. The Building and Grounds Committee. The Building and Grounds Committee met on May 7th. Everyone that's on the committee was in attendance. That is myself, Tanya Byers-Kay, Doug Lopez, Kim Curry, and Kristen Richter. Robert Kravitz, Diane Colazzo, Michael Simons, and Catherine Hiramoto. Did I say it right? Hiramoto, thank you. Thanks for correcting me. We're in attendance. So some of the things that we went over, we are waiting for the long-range facility plan, which is going to make a very big difference in how we rate what needs to be done. We are very well aware of the conditions of the bathrooms, things that need to be done in each building, but we must wait for the long-range facility plan to see exactly how the entire district is looking. That will give us the conditions of each building and the biggest concerns at each. We also talked about an update of custodial staffing, and if there was any cost to be made for implementing block scheduling, which there wasn't any significant cost associated with the block scheduling. And we spoke about the building and grounds usage for the churches and different recreational facilities that are using the buildings. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right before this meeting, the policy committee met. We continue to refine our use of electronic communication devices policy. That's policy 5516. We've been consulting with the high school administration on that. We also discussed briefly the firearms and weapons, which has some mandatory changes. Our food service policy will be on, I believe, the next meeting. There has been recent legislation which widens the eligibility of students for what used to be called free and reduced lunch. It's now called subsidized meals. And the legislation also requires the district to provide each student with a hard copy notice that they can apply at any point in the school year. And we also must give a hard copy of the application. I believe at the next meeting, we will also have on the agenda are spectator code of conduct for interscholastic events. That is a policy that those spectators, whether it be parents, guests, relatives who attend school events and act inappropriately, it sets out, these are athletic events, it sets out the procedures and penalties for bad behavior. Also, on the next agenda, I think will be policy 5460, which lays out the high school graduation requirements. Some of the changes to that policy are to eliminate the requirement of creative writing. Our policy still references a prior standardized test called PARC, so that will be updated. And the legislature last year passed a requirement that all students, in order to graduate, must file the FAFSA form, which is the financial aid application for college. So that will be included in that policy.
Thank you. Any other committee reports before we move on? Okay. Do we have questions or comments from board members on tonight's agenda or any other topics?
I just want to comments. So recently I had the opportunity to sit on interviews for our district, and was generally impressed by the professionalism and thoughtful approach each candidate brought to the table. At least two candidates specifically mentioned how impressed they were with our district's thorough and organized process, which included formal presentation as part of their evaluation. So someone who conducts interviews and manage some of the processes, it was great to see our districts at a very high standard. So kudos to the administration for that. And then on the contract, I do want to extend my sincere thanks to everyone involved in negotiating our contract, and both process was smooth, and thoughtful. So kudos.
Thank you.
Just want to ask a question on full CUR. Dr. Kravitz or Ms. Baker, how does those summer academic programs work? Are they limited to high school students, and are those the only two schools that are on the list right now?
So credit recovery is specifically for high school students, and those aren't the only two on the list. We had a previous resolution where the board voted on additional providers. These are two providers that we're adding to that list.
The state recognizes the ones that are accredited, and that's how we add them.
And is there a reason they can't do it in Fort Lee? Is it just because the classes are not offered in Fort Lee? Richwood is quite a bit of a travel. How do the students get there?
So we don't offer credit recovery classes in the summer. So they would have to go themselves. These are students who get loss of credit, and it could be for various reasons.
And they're paying for the out-of-pocket students.
There are also virtual options available.
Gotcha. And I want to echo just the gratitude to Kim, who led two of the key proposals that are on the agenda tonight, negotiation as well as banking. So thank you very much for this process, smooth and transparent.
Anyone else? Before we move on, I just want to read two walk-in resolutions. So the first one will be 5B, and it reads, therefore be it resolved that the Fort Lee Board of Education rejects the superintendent's decision in the matter of incident number 290421 SNI 03252025. That was a matter we discussed during closed executive session. And there's also the walk-in 17F, whereas the Fort Lee Board of Education solicited requests for proposals for aftercare school services, RFP 2024-25-04 for the 2025-2026 school year. And whereas all proposals were due April 17th, 2025, now therefore be it resolved, the Fort Lee Board of Education awards the contract for aftercare school services to Right at School for the period of July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. Anyone have questions on the circuit board and one? May I have a motion to open the floor to the public?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Kang, second Knight, I think. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, we will hear first from any members of the public physically located in the cafeteria, then we will take questions and comments from those participating remotely. Participants are limited to 3 minutes in which to make their statement. For remote participants, please select the raise hand button. Mr. Ruggiero will recognize each community member in the order of raised hands by lowering your hand. Please unmute your microphone. Everyone, in person and at home, please state your name and address for the record and begin your comments. Again, limit them to 3 minutes, please.
Good evening, everybody. Andrew Gilbert, 326 Bridge Plaza North. So I'm going to talk about my favorite topic. For those who don't know what it is, it's the Special Ed Parents Advisory Group. Our next meeting will be this Wednesday, May 21st at 7 p.m. A slight change, the location will be at FLBOE Middle School in the Media Center. So we'll not be here, there will be in the Media Center. We do have also posted on the FLBOE website. Also reminders have been sent out. I believe reminders will probably be sent out tomorrow sometime, correct?
Yes.
Also, we do have childcare available, so if anybody needs childcare, they have not signed up yet, please sign up. Could you also email us at the CPAC website, we can make arrangements for that also. We have a very, very exciting agenda. We will have the Fort Lee Police Department, and they will be talking about something called the blue envelope. Those of you who are not familiar with that, you can just go on YouTube. It has to do with people that are on the spectrum and about people's autism and how to handle that. It's very, very interesting. In addition, we will also have our candidates night. We have positions. We have the president, vice president, secretary positions. The candidates will be giving a little overview about that, about what they're running. So again, all information is on the Fort Lee website and various social media outlets. So we hope to see you by then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Keith Goslin, 2185 Lemoyne Avenue. Also speaking about something about the CPAC to alert there's 5 nominees. We want to remind you all Wednesday night is candidates night, so it's the time where you get 2 to 3 minutes or so, speak about why you want to be in CPAC leadership, and also tell us a little bit about yourself. If you can't make the meeting, we ask that you write a paragraph or 2 about yourself and email it to cpac@flboe.com. Andrew or Cynthia or myself or somebody else who wants to will read that message for you, and it does not affect whether you're on the ballot or not. The ballots for the election are going out Thursday, and the election will end the Thursday after, I assume around 8 p.m. But we'll clearly announce that next week, or excuse me, this Wednesday, 7 p.m. in the Media Center. And I'm not going to ask about bus tracking, but I do have a question. What's the software in 15F? Is that?
TransFinder, which is the software that we're talking about, is the software TransFinder program that also does the stop locations and everything, including tracking the buses. The parents can handle it.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Ajun Chung, 408 Elizabeth Street. Hello, my name is Ajun Chung. I'm currently a junior at the Fort Lee High School. Last Thursday, I got suspended for 2 days for filming a fight and showing it to people. I was shocked as a 2 whole day suspension seemed somewhat extreme. So I asked the reason as to why I was getting suspended, because I want to know the reason as to why. And they, mainly being Mr. Finizio, stated that their main reason for reprimanding us was because we apparently took a video and created an audience that promotes fights and violence. They said that I should have gone and gotten help instead. However, there were already security guards and security officers there that were unable to prevent the fight to begin with, that were getting kicked in the face and that were getting punched down. So even the security guards in the school cannot contain the students. What more do they need to do to contain and control and manage students? It simply makes no sense for us to go and ask the students to simply go and get help. It does not make sense at all. They said that when I recorded, I became quote unquote involved. However, this is also simply unjust, as the underlying issue is the fight and not the person that records, and that does not instantly make them involved. Now, this is where the main underlying issue is. Not only is the school unable to break up and quell fights when they happen, but they are unable to prevent fights from happening in the first place. How is a school doing the job when they're unable to create a safe learning environment for all students? The school instead has been actively breeding and maintaining a violent and dangerous environment that allows and promotes fights. 2 days before this most recent fight, the school actually had a whole assembly for the parents about strengthening our school community through safety and communications, and yet 2 days later, another fight occurred. It simply just does not make sense how they can just give a show to the parents about saying, oh, we will keep our students safe this way, and 2 days later, a fight occurs yet again. There's been a minimum of 4 fights this month, 1 fight for each week. And this is not even counting the fights that happen outside of school. Is that a normal amount of fighting in the school and school community? I highly doubt so, that there would be 4 fights in 1 month. That just simply is not correct, is not right. Why is there so many fights happening? These fights are being created regardless of if there is an audience or not. So I actually asked Mr. Finizio and Mrs. Glynn why there are so many fights. And they simply responded that they were just quote unquote working on it. Well, clearly they are not working hard enough, and the school is not working hard enough to keep our students and the school environment safe. Ever since the stabbing, the school has failed to prevent to do so. And they're reprimanding the audience, they're punishing the audience for filming a fight and trying to raise awareness for what's happening in our school when they can't even prevent the fights from happening in the first place. It simply does not make sense as well. I believe at the core, at the main core of all of these, this is the school's fault and the school's issue. And kids at our school joke all the time, like, what's next? Like, is a shooting gonna occur next? But this could very well be a reality now, as there has been a continuous increase of fights. There's been a continuous increase of these issues and incidents happening in our school. They're trying to cover up, and instead of trying to fix these issues and trying to solve these issues, the school is just trying to cover it up. They're just trying to make sure and try to maintain their quote-unquote reputation, which is already ruined and is already going downhill. Just trying to cover it up and maintaining this reputation is not simply going to fix the issue. The main issue is there are fights occurring all the time. And reprimanding the audience because the fights occurring, that's simply unjust and makes no sense. All the other schools and students within other schools say.
All right, we understand your point, thank you,
Yes.
but your 3 minutes is up, so.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Unfortunately, I can't speak about specific students or anything within public, so if you have any concerns, you're welcome to email me and I can respond accordingly. Thank you.
My name is Michelle Perez, 555 North Avenue. How many people are on Zoom tonight, please?
46. Okay, that's, thank you. I think 46, I'm blind, I can't see that.
Okay. How do I go after that? I believe you're all here in this job because you care about the kids. They are your #1 customers after all. In terms of showing care, I'd like to thank Mrs. Richter, Mr. Lopez, and Mrs. Byers-Kang for attending the high school parents meeting last week. It was for parents of 8th to 12th grade students, which you 3 are. Thank you to Ms. Curry, Ms. Morrell, and Ms. Kotang for not attending in person because you are not parents of students currently in those grades. You stayed informed but likely viewing from home. You showed respect for every high school parent in that room last Tuesday by abiding by the rules of the invitation. And I'm sure you took to heart everything that was said, but did not make any speeches yourselves. You were respectful to the situation.
For anyone in attendance tonight who doesn't know, in New Jersey, which is rarely one of the states that provides a school board member with training, school board members learn appropriate boundaries and actions to this role by attending training sessions each year, feedback from their board lawyer, and instruction during a board retreat. This board's most recent retreat was on March 8th, and the video is available. At minute mark 1 hour and 33 minutes, Matt Lee, an expert from New Jersey School Board Association, said to this board that local boards develop policies covering issues relevant to the local district as long as they stay within the parameters assigned by the state. Quote, standards are not debatable, curriculum is. Curriculum is subject to the approval of the board, so there's some latitude there for you guys to say we don't feel this is proper. But that should be based on its compliance with state standards, not some kind of personal opinion. So if it wasn't meeting the standards, you have a case. If it's meeting the standards, I don't know how you argue against that. Those are Matt Lee's words. You can watch the video to check me out. So abiding by state standards, not personal opinions, is appropriate because none of you here are legislators. This is a basic part of your job here. Respecting these rules shows care and respect for your fellow board members, for the students and teachers. Reminding yourselves of this is an important thing when you make decisions. A recent example of a board lawyer feedback is in the May 5th meeting video for this board. Around minute 53, a board member wants to make a motion. At about minute 54, the board lawyer mentions it would be unethical and cites oath number 3. I recommend every parent rewatch the May 5th video. Following the oaths you swear to uphold engenders trust, so you can work together. Following the rules of this position engenders trust, so you can work together. We, the parents, the students, the town, need you to do these things. We need you to behave and to work together. There's enough going on that needs your attention and not grandstanding. Parents should not be concerned with whether or not board members are behaving correctly. Trust me, I would like to be home tonight with my kids instead of being here. I'd rather only shower all of you with compliments, but some recent actions I could not ignore because these are not one-offs. If you care about our kids, and I've heard each of you say you do over the years, then creating trust amongst yourselves, and by extension the town, is the only healthy way forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience who wishes to speak before we move to Zoom? Okay, Mr. Ruggiero, you're up.
Xenia Antic, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Um,
Please state your name and address for the record.
yes, Zhenya Antic, 5 Drury Lane. I have 5 children in the district, and my 2 oldest sons, one is a senior, one is a sophomore, recently qualified for the National Junior Rowing Championship, and they're missing 4 days of school of this, and they're unexcused. My oldest also participated in the Head of the Charles Regatta, which is one of the most prestigious regattas in the nation, and that was also unexcused. He has, I think, a total of 10 unexcused absences for the sport, and obviously they achieved very high level in this sport, and it feels like they're being punished, and that all of their absences are unexcused. I know this was changed very recently. So I have a very specific request, and I expect an answer right now, if it's possible, and I will follow up in future meetings. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person. If it's, I would like the board to consider to please reinstate the policy that sports is excused, because my kids are literally being punished for doing sports outside of Fort Lee High School, and Fort Lee High School does not have a rowing team, so there's no way for them to do this at the high school. So please if you could please answer me right now, if you would please consider this.
Do you have any other questions?
That's my only question.
We wait till the end of the question, then we respond.
That's my only question.
Thank you. So under policy 52, policy and regulation 5200 regarding attendance, the Fort Lee Board of Education, adopts a policy. That policy is what we actually follow. Student illness supported by a written, these are the list of approved excused absences. Student illness supported by a written letter from a parent for one absence. Each occurrence, 2 or more consecutive absences will require a written letter from a physician. The students require attendance in court, death of a family member for up to 10 days, college visits up to 3 per year, examination for a driver's license, take our children to work day, religious observance pursuant to NJSA 18A36-14-16, participation in observance of Veterans Day, participation in District Board of Election membership activities, closure of busing school district that prevents a student from having transportation to the receiving school, attendance at a civic event, 1 per day, or 1 per school year, and a defined civic event sponsored by a government entity, a community-based organization, or a not-for-profit. Where appropriate, when consistent with IEPs, the Individual with Disabilities Act, accommodate plans under 29 USC 794 and 705, and an absence considered excused by the Commissioner of Education. Under that policy, we follow all of those rules regarding attendance. Thank you.
Jeff Kotzo, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Hello, good evening. I just wanted to comment about how grateful I am. It's Steph Kotzo. I'm 281 Tom Hunter Road, Port Lee, New Jersey. You'll have to forgive me. I'm out of town tonight, but I just want to comment about how thankful I am that our Board of Education does show up to meetings in our town, whether people think it's appropriate or not. And also, it's very concerning to me as a mother and also as a legal guardian of other children and as someone who's a foster parent for people within this town that people think they know who and what you are and what you do, and they really truly don't. So multiple people have reasons to be at meetings. I thought it was ridiculous that our meeting on safety would not be open to all stakeholders in our district who fund the entire district at large. All the parents should have been invited to that meeting. Legal guardians should have been invited to that meeting. So that to me was very concerning, and I was very concerned at the meeting that the mother of the victim, really spoke about how she wasn't contacted by the administration. But my one question that I was going to pose to the board, or if someone has an answer to it, is with these turnstiles to get into the bathroom, if they do exist, can't you scan your card and that card would open up sort of like a lock on the door, the turnstile, and provide an extra measure of safety? And then if the child with that card has recently been on detention for something violent, the school administrators could see that they were using the bathroom, or the resource officer would see like maybe a little check that comes up to just get a little bit closer so that they can, really monitor the situation. And for these mothers whose children are athletes, the district should find a way to care for them and not punish them for doing wonderful things with their little lives. That's what I have to say. So I'd like to know about the turnstile. It was brought up by, I believe, Dr. Kravitz, that there's a key card used for the bathroom. How does that work? Because I've been to the school bathroom multiple times and I didn't see anyone having to use the card to get in. That's it.
Thank you for your question. The turnstile is a part of our student information system. It's also used in the nurse's office as well as the guidance counselor's office. If a student goes into the bathroom or one of those other locations, even if they arrive late, they can scan with their ID. It indicates when they went into the bathroom. Recent actions include closing off the bathrooms during passing time. So now if a student wants to leave the classroom, they have to fill out the electronic hall pass, which indicates what time they will be leaving to the bathroom. And then when they arrive at that bathroom, they would scan in to this device, which would clock them going into the bathroom. It does not allow them access to the door itself. That's how the turnstile works. And it's all regulated, one through the hall pass, and one through Genesis, which is our student information system that clocks where they are. Thank you.
Cynthia H., you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes. Cynthia H. Okay, we'll move on to the next raised hand. Julene Stasu, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, everybody. Julene Stasu, 1156 Inwood Terrace. I just wanted to hop on and say thank you for allowing us to have that meeting last week. I think it was extremely helpful and educational to a lot of us who got to understand more about what's going on for the safety of our kids. I really, really appreciate it. I also agree that that meeting should have been open to all parents, not just for those of certain grades, for several reasons. Number one, safety affects everyone. The policies impact the entire school community, not just specific grades. All parents have a right to understand and contribute to decisions that could affect their child's well-being. I also believe that transparency builds trust, and limiting participation creates confusion and mistrust. Parents also have valuable input. Every parent, regardless of their child's grade, has some kind of perspective or concern. And I believe that if they were better informed, there wouldn't be all of this controversy. And also, emergencies don't discriminate by grade. In real life emergency situations, whether it's a lockdown, a stabbing, a health crisis, students from all grades can be involved. So I really believe we need some consistency here. If some grades are kept informed and others aren't, regardless of the fact that the video was posted and everyone had access to it, I don't believe that unequal access to ask questions and express concerns is fair or practical. So I would just ask in the future that when we do have these important meetings, the board really comes together and insists that all parents are able to be a part of it, because I think that obviously it would be more effective. But again, thank you, because I did really learn a lot. And, I just want to thank you. Have a great night. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Cynthia H., you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Cynthia Hanna. I live at 2416 Rosette Street, Fort Lee, New Jersey. And I just want to thank the Board of Education for hearing the special needs parents and implementing such a vital service over our town, the bus tracking. Thank you. That's all what I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Tugba Dermaz, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm Tuba Dermaz. I live in Slocum Way, Fort Lee. I just want to say thank you to the District Board of Education and our CPAC team, hearing special needs parents' voices and implementing the bus tracking. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
iPhone, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, Nancy Hatter, Linwood Avenue. I'm just saying what the other moms are saying. Thank you for the bus tracking and everything CPAG and the Board of Ed has done for us and our children. Thank you.
There are no more raised hands of attendees who have not yet already spoken.
Motion to close the floor to the public.
I have a motion from Ms. Colback to close
Second.
the floor to the public. Second, Mr. Rubino, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, moving on to resolutions. May I have a motion to approve items 1B through walk-in resolution 5B?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morel, second Colback. Roll call, please.
Ms. Myers Kane,
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Curry,
Yes, I abstained from my name on previous.
Same for me, sorry.
noted. Mr. Knight,
Yes.
Ms. Kotank,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes, and I abstain from my name on 3B.
Ms. Morel,
Yes, and I abstain on my name on 3B.
Mr. Rubino,
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
1B through 4B, yes, I abstain from my name on 3B, and I'm abstaining on 5B.
Noted, thank you.
May I have a motion to approve items 1 CUR through 4 CUR?
Motion.
Motion Morel, second Rubino. Roll call, please.
Ms. Myers Kane,
Yes.
Ms. Colback,
Yes.
Ms. Curry,
Yes.
Mr. Knight,
Yes.
Ms. Kotank,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Morel,
Yes.
Mr. Rubino,
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes. May I have a motion to approve items 1F through walk-in item 17F?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Curry, second Morel. Roll call, please.
Ms. Myers Kane,
Yes.
Ms. Colback,
Yes.
Ms. Curry,
Yes.
Mr. Knight,
Yes.
Ms. Kotank,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Morel,
Yes.
Mr. Rubino,
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes. May I have a motion to approve items 1P through 10P?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morel, second Colback. Roll call, please.
Ms. Myers Kane,
Yes, with a special congratulations and a great decision by the district for 3P.
that's noted. Ms. Colback,
Yes, congratulations, Mr. Donato, 3P. Yes.
Ms. Curry,
Yes.
Mr. Knight,
Yes. Congratulations.
Ms. Kotank,
Congratulations, 3P, Mr. Giordano, looking for how happy Miguel is on the corner, there's a fan there. Congratulations.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes, and a huge congrats.
Ms. Morel,
Yes, and congratulations.
Mr. Rubino,
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes. May I have a motion to approve items 1 POL and 2 POL?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Colback, second Morel. Roll call, please.
Ms. Myers Kane,
Yes.
Ms. Colback,
Yes.
Ms. Curry,
Yes.
Mr. Knight,
Yes.
Ms. Kotank,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Morel,
Yes.
Mr. Rubino,
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes. Any old business? Okay, before we go under new business, I just want to say thank you to our committee chairs, personnel with your hiring. Obviously, 3P is a big positive note. Congratulations and negotiations, Ms. Curry. Thank you so much for all of the work you and your committee put into making our teachers very happy. Anyone else on new business? May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion Rubino, second Morel, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.